Yo, 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 welcome back to the Out the Box Show. I'm John Wiles alongside my co-host James Luffy and Rory Luke. We're all back on the Out the Box podcast. We hope all of you had a fantastic 4th of July weekend. Rory, I hope you had an absolutely fantastic vacation last week and a 4th of July weekend. And we are so glad to have you back, Luffy. How was your 4th of July? You went up to the coast, I think.
Tremendous, fabulous holiday. One of the best. USA dominates the holiday, as always.
Rory, how about you?
It was a great holiday for sure. Y'all did a great show without me. Sorry I couldn't be there.
Well, the good news is that we're all back in the booth. We're ready to go. We have an absolutely packed show for you guys. This one, the new news is insane. LSU baseball is filling out the coaching staff. Jay Johnson is coming in swinging. We got to kind of recap the hot dog eating contest because that was awesome. Joey Jaws breaking his record again. We're going to talk a little. What else we got? Oh, the Golden Band from Tigerland not making their way to Pasadena. We got to talk. The famous off-the-charts segment is back. It is back this week. This counts as the official countdown to LSU football season. We're going to do the special teams, and then we're going to wrap up the show with the House Always Wins segment. Before we get to all that, I want to give a huge shout-out to the Boot Crew Media Network, Constant Entertainment, and you know what? We just dropped yesterday. Well, they did, and then we shared it. Boot Crew Media Golf Tournament. If you have not signed up already, you're already late. You're already behind. You need to sign up for the Boot Crew Media Golf Tournament. It is on August 13th it is in New Orleans. Food, drinks, golf, fun with the whole Boot Crew Media family will be provided free of charge for the fee that you pay to get in. You pay the fee and then it's free after that. But it is at Lakewood Golf Club in New Orleans. Nolens starts at about 11. You eat lunch, you go play golf, and there's all kind of door prizes. You can check it out on bootcrewmedia.com/golf tournament. And make sure to follow Boot Crew Media on social media at Boot Crew Media. Also, I want to give a huge shout out to Rally Cat Brewing. Another day, another beer. That is what Rally Cat Brewing does. They just dropped another, I think they're on a double dry hop kick, the DDH kick. That is an extreme method of brewing, particularly in IPAs. This one, although I'm not a huge fan of the name, it is the Bang the Trash Can Slowly Hazy Double India Pale Ale Double Dry Hopped. Now, if you remember, Bang the Trash Can Slowly was one of their original beers, and that was a shot at the Houston Astros. But I will give it to them. It is clever, and it is going to be fantastic. You can find that at Rally Cat Brewing this Friday. It's 8% alcohol by volume. So if you really only need 1 4-pack to have a fantastic time. So make sure to check out Rally Cat Brewing. All right, you have to start the 4th of July recap and whatnot. You cannot mention the 4th of July without talking about Joey Jaws breaking his record. It's almost like he's doing this on purpose, like intentionally eating one more each year to keep pushing himself to new limits. And the great thing about it is I never get tired of watching it. I always park myself in front of the TV just to watch the guy shove.
It's honestly kind of scary to watch him do this year in and out. I mean, there's just no athlete like him. There's none like him. He's completely dominated the sport for forever.
I think if we're being real, he deserves a spot as a 5th person on Mount Rushmore.
Yeah, I mean, there's no doubt he's one of the greatest.
More American than Joey Chestnut.
With a dog hanging out of his mouth. Well, it wouldn't be hanging out of his mouth because it'd be already down.
He also doesn't eat them like a normal person, so I don't know how that would work. But
all right.
There's nothing more American than Joey Chestnut.
The Glizzy Gladiator.
All right. So I'm not going to talk about how great he is. We talk about how many titles. I did some math and I wanted to provide a reference. Okay. This is real quick. Luffy's sitting there looking at my calculations like there's some sort of long drawn out thing. We'll post that on the Twitter. But if one hot dog is 6 inches long, right? And I just assume they were 1 inches in diameter, and you eat 76 of them, that's 357 cubic inches. Okay, stay with me. Stay with me. Say you add a hot dog bun. I assume that a hot dog bun was double the size of the actual hot dog, so that's 714 cubic inches. And if you eat 76 hot dogs, to put that in perspective, the size of a basketball is 434 cubic inches. That's almost 2.5 basketballs that he ate full of hot dogs. Standard size of a baseball is 12.31 cubic inches. That would mean that he ate 87 baseballs. And I looked up the volume of a standard human, and this volume of standard human is 3,783 inches cubed. And if you put that into hot dog terms, that's almost a third of a human, the average human. So I don't know how that makes y'all feel. Luffy, you look a little queasy sitting next to me, but that is perspective for you. And I know my math is not always good, but I took the time today, and I think it's accurate.
87 baseballs is extreme.
It is. I also saw a stat that said, like, if you add up every hot dog he's ever eaten in competition and put them lengthwise, it would be taller than, like, the Eiffel Tower. I don't know.
Like, you could easily say that on Twitter.
I don't know if it's true or not. Yeah, exactly. Somebody, I think I saw it on Twitter. But, I mean, I'm not going to do that calculation. John, you can do that one for me. But
I mean, yeah, I love how they showed his all-time career hot dogs, like buns eaten, and just to see the guy that's eaten thousands of hot dogs just on July 4th, right?
So, not even including training.
Right, exactly. So
you think somebody who's eaten that many hot dogs could at least go to, like, a dentist, because that man's teeth are awful.
No, it's a competitive advantage. That's why they call him Joey Jaws. His teeth are like razor blades, and that's an advantage. And he's a freak of nature. He's like Michael Phelps. Nobody told Michael Phelps that he couldn't participate in the Olympics because his arms are too long.
Or he had web toes. Did you know that Michael Phelps has web toes?
Wow, I'm shocked to find that out. But American hero, he will go down as the greatest of all time in pretty much any competitive thing. So, all right, let's get to some more LSU news, more local news. We've been talking about, the recruits that we've gotten in LSU baseball, Jacob Berry, the other kid coming in, and now the power moves of, Coach Jay Johnson filling out his coaching staff are taking place. Recently, I believe it's yesterday, he hired Jason Kelly, 41-year-old coach out of Arizona State, as his new pitching coach. And this one was his key hire, right? Because Jay Johnson is known for his hitting coach abilities. He is known for producing power hitting lineups. And I was doing some reading and some research, and he coached against Jason Kelly, right? So you have the hitting coach who is hiring the pitching coach that he used to coach against. So if he knows that, this is just like, I'm making this more complicated than it seems, but he knows exactly what to look for and what not to look for in a pitching coach, right? And if he would be not scared, but if he would be, struggling to put lineups together against a great pitching coach, then he knows exactly what it looks like. And that seems like what we're getting in Jason Kelly.
Yeah, I mean, it seems positive, but I will say the last year, I think they had 4 guys go down with arm injuries. So that definitely is a concern for LSU fans, because we've struggled with that the past few years. So hopefully that does not continue on at LSU and he ends up being a solid hire.
Also on the LSU baseball front, just like you're talking a little Jacob Berry.
Yeah.
I don't know if y'all have seen this, but Josh Pearson, West Monroe kid coming in, he's been absolutely crushing it in summer league ball.
Yeah, and I actually just listened to him, Rory. He said, I mean, he just seemed like he was all in on LSU. Now he's got the draft coming up, but he seemed all in on LSU. Like the coaching change didn't seem to bother him at all. He really just sounded like he wanted to play in the box, you know, and that's super positive. I hope we don't lose him to the draft. I know he's one of the top guys. Well, I think he's like a 4th or 5th round guy, but he's in that top like 200 players.
Speaking of the draft,
Nice. He took the words right out of my mouth.
Coming up this weekend.
Yes.
I think
Yes.
Wait, that's not what I was going to say.
Friday night, MLB draft coming Friday night. And I know we have a few guys that are commits that are at the top. There's obviously Jaden Hill at the top. And, I mean, well, Jaden Hill's kind of fallen off. He's looking like a late first, early second type of guy. I'd love to see the Mets pick him up in the second round. But you got anything for us, Luffy, on the commitment front?
So are you saying the guys we have signed that could go to the draft?
Yeah. So, you know, like the Dylan Cruz, the top of the line players that LSU usually has committed that are maybe in the draft, maybe coming to LSU, depending on their slot value, how much money they get. So
they would be the opposite of what Dylan Cruz did.
This is a ranking that I just saw, and then the slot value behind it, which just basically means what the typical pick there would sign for. And John, you want to read that last name there for the first guy? He's ranked 46. He's a right-handed pitcher.
Kudrna.
And the slot value for that
K-U-D. I'm not like
I don't know how to say it either.
K-U-D-R-N-A. Kudrna.
The slot value, he's ranked 46 overall. His slot value is $1.6 million. The second guy on this list that is signed with LSU, Carter Jensen, he's a catcher. Slot value $744. The next guy, 124, Ian Moeller, catcher. Slot value $460K. The next guy, Brock Selvage.
Need help again?
Yes.
Selvage.
He's a
S-E-L-V-I-D.
I'm doing better than you. He's a left-handed pitcher, which we would love to have on campus. And then at 167, Cale Lansfield, who's a right-handed pitcher. His slot value is $304K. So hopefully, I don't know really yet. It's hard to get a feel on those guys because if someone comes in and picks them earlier than they were supposed to, they might have plans on going to school, or maybe they slide down. They have high expectations for themselves, or they just want to go on a college campus. And obviously the NLI stuff we talked about last week will hopefully help those guys. I mean, they won't make that much money off the NLI and NIL, whatever. And
name, image, likeness.
And I don't care. I've heard it so much. I'm so sick of it. But that hopefully helps get those guys on campus. But you can't turn on a damn radio show without it being on. Every radio show's got it on. Every podcast got it on. Every TV show's got it on. Are
you just upset that you didn't get to capitalize on your name, image, and likeness while you were at LSU?
While I was softball coach?
Yeah.
I may have been.
Wow.
I may have been.
We are going to launch a full-scale investigation into that. But Luffy, kind of going off of what you were saying, talking about these guys that almost need to be recruited by LSU. They've committed, but they could go to the draft. It's actually funny you say that because Jay Johnson, today, right before we started recording, hired a new recruiting coordinator, Mr. Dan Fitzgerald from DBU, Defensive Back University. Not really. Dallas Baptist University, but they were relevant just a few weeks ago as they made it to the College World Series, right? And looking up a few stats on this guy, that like we were saying, that was what Jay Johnson needed. He needed a pitching coach and a recruiting coordinator, and he was going to take care of the hitting. And, doing some quick Googling because who knew who he was before, LSU makes the hire. He was the number 7 assistant coach by Baseball America in 2018. He, in his time at DBU, has recruited 7 All-Americans and 7 freshman All-Americans. I think this guy's a home run hire.
Yeah, I mean, he's got a big job to do coming up. So we're gonna see. I mean, these guys that are on the fence between coming to LSU or going to play pro ball, it's his really first shot at it coming up. So hopefully he pans out.
Also, John, quick fact check: they made it to the Supers, didn't make it to the World Series.
Oh, well, okay. Sorry. Dallas Baptist University generally doesn't even make it that far. So yes, I was mistaken. I'll go ahead and own that. But the point is that this guy is a solid recruiter. He took Dallas Baptist from a smaller school, a smaller university, and is making them relevant in the college baseball tournament.
Yeah, and he's ranked as a top recruiter on the D1 baseball recruiting list, which always is a good sign because those are the guys that are really breaking down and getting in the ins and outs of college baseball like there's so many people that do and so many sites that do for college football.
Also, it's good to have a little Texas guy with the West Coast pitching coach and Jay Johnson, West Coast hitting.
And not to mention, I mean, LSU fans, will include myself included, will say that Maneri was getting older, Alan Dunn was getting older. I mean, these guys are all in their early 40s. Like they're just getting going in the top tier of their career, right? Now, what they do when they get to LSU is all that matters to us at this point, but it looks good. It just looks good. It feels good. And with the talent we have returning, I'm not even going to say the two main guys because we already know, and we've said it for a year now. But you get guys like the Gavin Dugas to come back. You get Jacob Berry to come in and make a difference, even if he's just DHing, even if that's all he does. That will be better, infinitely better than the DH position that we had this year. It really is exciting, and we have a very long time until we get there, but it will be here before you know it.
Yeah, the future's looking up for sure. That's all you can say is that the future is looking good. Future is bright for the LSU baseball program.
Yeah, I mean, we talked about the lineup of kind of the top 5 or 6 guys last week, but Barry and Cruz since then have been tearing it up for Team USA, and it's been fun to watch them hit bombs. And apparently, they were kind of already friends. So, very, very neat.
Yep. All right, let's kind of clean up the LSU baseball news. We'll go ahead and give a shout out to our boys over at Workbox.
Oh yeah, if you need anything as far as a container, dumpster, portable toilet, luxury portable toilet, you have to call Martine at Workbox. They have the cleanest luxury toilets and porta potties in the state of Louisiana. You have to call Martine at Workbox. If you have a party, which we'll be having a lot of coming up, we got football coming up, we got tailgates, you're going to need porta potties. If you're building a house, if you're redoing a house after you've called Blaine and he's helped you buy a house, you can call Martine as you're redoing it. They'll get you a container outside. Call Martine at Workbox.
Get it? Do you need me to stall? Do you need me to tell a joke? While you fumble the phone number?
I don't. It's just like gone from the Google.
All right. So if you had, let's say, dang, I can't come, dude. I can never come up with jokes on the spot. Rory, do you have any good jokes? This is pitiful, Lucky.
I'm ready.
I got it. Why did?
I thought you were just gonna cut us off.
225-382-5250. Call Martine at Workbox if you need a porta potty, storage container, luxury restrooms, or anything in that area. Call Martine at 225-382-5250.
All right, wait, John, I got a joke for you.
All right.
Why did the cow cross the road?
John probably knows this joke.
Movies.
That was worse than one of my jokes. All right. The last bit of new news that we kind of talked about in the intro is that the Golden Band from Tigerland will not be making the trip to Pasadena in the Rose Bowl when LSU takes on UCLA in this coming football season. Luffy, do you have any thoughts on that?
Bullshit. I mean, Other than that, I mean, it's crazy we can't bring the band out there. You need the golden band. Those kids work hard. They have practice too. They need to be able to perform whenever the Tigers need them.
I mean, I agree for sure. We should be taking full band out there. I'm sure those kids were excited. That's a big trip, and
I just think it would be electric with just the atmosphere. The weather's perfect. You have the mountains in the background, and you're in the Rose Bowl, and such a historic deal. Like, why not?
And it's none of the band, right?
It's what?
None, right? It's not even like
No.
I know away games. Away games is usually a smaller band.
Right.
Yeah,
I think it's like
I thought that's what I thought. I was just making sure. Damn it, get the band a damn NIL, whatever it is, deal.
we might have to
Get them out there.
We might have to start another change.org, Rory. So if we could get that rolling, I don't think it'll make a difference.
Can we sponsor a band? Can we sponsor?
Let's sponsor.
I want one band member to go with the big tuba and just.
Well, I think Rory was going to say that we should sign some of the band members to be part of the Out the Box brand, and
It can't be expensive, right?
I mean,
We'll just have them play in the
depending-
background while we're recording.
if they're on the drum line or something, that would be sick.
Just
If
have
we had
them all in this room, like 4 of them, and just blaring it.
We have some connections to the band. I can make some calls and see if we can get in.
Dude, Rory, you have the in with all of them. But yeah, definitely unfortunate. Definitely, it's still going to be a badass trip. It's still going to be an electric atmosphere. LSU. Last I checked on the line for that game, it was about 4.5.
Bet it now if you can bet it.
Yeah, that's what I was going to say. It was about 4.5, and I think we're going to absolutely crush them. So, all right.
I don't know why you're looking at me.
I don't know. You had a funny look in your eye, Luffy. The off the charts segment is finally back after a long year. And, let me just go ahead and say this before we get into it. The off the charts segment, if there's any time to be excited about it, it is right now during the dead zone of summer. And given that LSU football didn't live up to expectations last year, these guys are going to be the guys that step in and bring us back to relevancy in college football after such a down year. But before we get to that, the off the charts segment is now going to be sponsored by guess who, Luffy?
Mr.
The
Blaine
best.
Loop.
The best at what he does.
Loop.
Joey Chestnut. This is the easiest one I've done. Joey Chestnut is the best at shoving hot dogs down his gullet. And Blaine Loop is the best at selling homes, buying homes, and helping you rent homes. Blaine is the man. He is the absolute man. And he wants you to know that interest rates are at an all-time low and the real estate market has never been hotter. At the speeds these homes are selling right now, you're going to need a certified professional. That's Blaine. He wants to be your friend, your neighbor, and your agent. Make sure to call or text Blaine Loop at 504-858-0031. That is 504-858-0031. All right, we're back, baby. Off the charts, special teams. We're going to hit the punters, the kickers, the punt returners, and the kick returners.
This is a segment for real fans here. If you really want to grind down the roster and see what we got, this is it. And I guess we can start with the easiest one, which is obviously kicker, place kicker, field goal kicker, Mr.
Oh, wait. Keller Williams is an equal opportunity housing partner. Each office is independently owned and operated. I was trying to be cocky.
Bragging. He had it. He was bragging, Rory. He's sitting here holding up his phone, swinging it around, showing everybody he's not using it, and he forgets it.
Damn.
Cade York.
The
best field goal kicker in the country. He was nails all last year, 53-yarder in the swamp without any vision. I mean, he couldn't even see the uprights when he kicked the ball. Drills it for the win, shoe game, historic moment for him, but he was great all year. And, I mean, I don't think anybody's, challenging his spot. We actually just recently he's not on the roster, but we just signed the number 2 kicker in the country out of Florida. So we have a Cade York successor. But while we have him, I mean, he's great. Anybody have anything else to say about Cade York?
I was going to say it's kind of crazy to think that he's a junior already.
Yeah.
I mean, his freshman year was a national championship, which is crazy to think that that's about to be 2 years ago.
Yeah.
Well, I think the reason why it feels like he's been here for such a while is
that was a fake year last year.
Well, that and also that Cole Tracy and Cade York, those names, like in people's heads, they were both kickers, and they, for whatever reason, they both just, you associate them two as like the same person almost. Obviously, they're not, but
yeah. Some people
Cole Tracy, Cade York. Cole Tracy.
People struggle with that all the time, but I think everyone will always remember York too. In the national title game, if you win a title at LSU, you'll never be forgotten. And then he has his I guess get famous moment in the swamp last year, which was awesome.
Yeah, I mean, there's nothing really to say. We're in a good spot at the kicker position. Would want to be in a better spot. And speaking of that, on to the next guy at the place kicker position. Just as good of a spot, probably the best in the nation at what he does. One of Luffy's favorite players.
Absolutely.
Avery Atkins.
See, he's a guy that seems like he's been at LSU forever. And I'm on board with you, Luffy. I love watching him kick the ball out of the end zone. Like he's very consistent and gets the job done.
I don't know how many years off my life I lost watching Les Miles try to kick the fucking ball out of bounds to the left or the right and directionally kick it instead of kicking out of the – I can count 10 games right now that we lost because we kicked the ball out of bounds and the other team kept getting it at the damn 40. It absolutely drove me crazy year after year. We're like, please get someone who can just kick it out of the back of the end zone. That's the smartest thing to do in college football. There's no reason not to do it. So thank you, Coach O. Thank you, Avery Atkins. And if Avery does like a squib kick or a kick where they purposely don't kick it out the back of the end zone, he makes a tackle too.
He does.
He was a safety in high school.
Dude, Rory, you know Avery.
I do know Avery.
Let's get him on the podcast next week.
All right. I mean,
that's it. All right. Avery Atkins is going to be on the podcast next week.
We love you, Avery.
That's how we get guests here. We call them and they're just chomping at the bit to come on. Name, image, and likeness. We're going to get him on.
Avery,
how about that?
We'll pay you $10 to come on the podcast.
We'll buy you a beer at the house bar, but we won't tell Coach O. All right.
Punter. We're going to have a freshman punter this year. His name is Peyton Todd. He's from West Monroe. I think he may be an early enrollee, which is great because he's already spent some time here. And I know his high school kicking stats are different than they would normally be, but he went to this kicking camp and he averaged 65 yards a punt, which I know he hits bombs. I've already heard good things about him since he's been on LSU's campus. So excited to have a guy he's a specialty punter. He's a Brad Wing type game changer. And ZVR was tremendous last year. So it makes a huge difference. If you can flip the field on someone when you're backed up, you're punting from your own 20 or your own 30 and you can kick it all the way down to their 10. I mean, it makes a huge difference. So excited to see what he's got. I love watching big booming punts. So
just looking at 6'6", 280.
Yeah, he's huge.
He's kind of a unit.
Yeah, he is. He's a unit, dude. He hits bombs. The hang time too is apparently impressive, and I think he's got the little spinning balls down as well.
Played linebacker in high school. Started at West Monroe, which is, no joke. That's a 5A.
Yeah,
that's a big school. Got the pedigree with as long as the only thing he needs is the nuts. You got to have some nuts back there to punt it.
Yep, that's true. You're right. If you can handle the pressure and get he has the skill. So if he can handle the end game 100,000 people, then he'll be ready to roll.
Wow, that's gonna be nuts. 100,000 people. Just thought of that.
It's gonna be amazing. All right, so this is really the only controversial position, which will be, I guess we can do punt returner, kick returner. Punt returner.
Is it going to be Stingley?
A lot of people want it to be Stingley. I don't know. I feel like it might be Stingley a couple times, but I think they are going to try some other guys back there. I know, obviously, someone who's already returned a touchdown for a punt, and Trey Palmer, extreme speed. And then I'd look out for freshman Deion Smith and Chris Hilton, like both speed guys coming in. And Deion's an early enrollee, so he might be. I think he worked a little bit back there in the spring. So I don't know which one of those guys it could be. It could be John Kirkland, even though I don't think it will be. I think Stingley will get returns when he wants to get returns, kind of. That makes sense.
Yeah, I agree. I think that if they're comfortable with putting Stingley back there, and he's comfortable with it, because it is a spot. It's another play where he could risk injury.
Yeah, definitely. If he's 100% healthy, if he's banged up like last year, I wouldn't expect to see him back there at all.
If he's comfortable and if he's playing offense, like we've kind of heard that may be a thing, I don't see why you couldn't put him back there as punt returner. I think he's electric, and Trey Palmer is not a bad guy to have as the de facto backup as well.
Yeah, he's returned, I guess, more punts for a touchdown than Stingley has in his LSU career. So I think it's all about just the trust and like having them catch the ball.
But that's the main. Yeah, obviously that's the main thing.
It's the hardest thing to do in football is just catch a punt.
Catch a punt when you have 11 brutes running after you.
Yeah, if you have a good punter that hangs it up there and you're going to get smoked, it's very hard to catch a punt. So I think the same for kick returners. Stingley's not going to return kicks, but I think Trey Palmer will be back there. And the other guys, I think it's going to be one of the freshmen, whether it's Hilton or Smith. We haven't seen them yet. And Brian Thomas as well, the other receiver who we added later in that class, I think maybe on signing day. He could get a shot back there as well, and maybe Alex Adams, receiver. So I like receivers back there. I know Les always had the running backs back there, but I would prefer to stick to the receivers back there, the speed guys.
Yeah, I agree. And we talked about that last year. Running backs back there, like love Clyde, but I don't want to see him returning kicks. Yeah,
and with the running back room that they might rely on one or two main guys, or they might end up using them all. We don't really know what we got there. We kind of know we have a wide receiver, and there's definitely some freshmen, some extra guys that they can put back there and really work hard on special teams during practice.
Yeah, 100%.
Anything else?
I think. What do you think?
One more. We forgot. The only
long
snapper.
Yeah, Quentin Skinner.
Yes, Skinner.
Back again.
That's what I was going to ask.
He's coming in from the same high school in Buford, Georgia, I believe.
Yeah,
is the Ferguson brothers. So legacy continues at Buford, Georgia. I think that's right. And I'm pretty sure if you come from there, you're a good long snapper.
Is that long snapper you?
That's long snap you.
Long snapper ice 8. Nah, it doesn't really work.
But LSU, but I guess we're kind of LSU, so I don't know.
Long snapper ice. I don't know. But that's going to be nuts. You cannot – I'll tell you one thing. You can't punt the ball unless you get somebody to snap it to them. So
that's right.
You've never been more right about something, John.
And he's got a great name, too. I like that name.
Yep.
Nice Georgia name.
All right. I think that about wraps up the Off the Charts segment. And we're going to get on to another famous segment. The House Always Wins segment, presented by –
the House Bar in Tigerland. I think we'll be headed out there soon.
Caught you sleeping, Rory?
No, you didn't. Hopefully, sometime in this month, this beautiful month of July, we'll be heading out there for a live show at the House Bar in Tigerland. It's home. It's always been home. It's still home. Beautiful renovations. If you haven't seen it, go check it out. You can follow them on Instagram at House Bar in Tigerland and on Twitter at Tigerland House. Check out all the deals. They got free T-shirts on Tuesday. I think first 100 people, they have a brand new T-shirt every week. This week they had the NBA Finals trophy on the back and said, like, take it home. Nice T-shirt. I mean, the people over there, Jeff and them, are doing great things and great supporters of the podcast.
Yep. And we, like Rory said, be looking out on social media. We will be out there soon. All right.
It's fight week, baby.
Fight week.
It is fight week.
Really, pretty much the only thing going on in the sporting world this week besides the NBA finals.
My sons.
Besides the NBA finals.
Which I've been giving since the playoffs started. My sons
are you going to give some more sons?
Rolling. No, because the series already started. It's 1-0.
What about the next game?
I don't have the odds, but I was just going to give a fight pick.
All
the
right.
Suns are winning the series. You can actually still bet them to win the series,
Yeah.
but the odds are just not good. That's
Yeah, they're like -2.
right, the money. Yeah, they're like money. Yeah.
Okay.
So Dustin Poirier, Lafayette boy, McGregor's back running his mouth. I just think Poirier's. I'm pretty sure they're fighting at 155. I hope they're not fighting at 145. If they're fighting at 155, I really like him to wear down Conor and end up taking him down again. If Conor doesn't get him early and really strike him hard early and get him hurt, as they say, then I think Poirier will just physically dominate him, kick by kick, hit by hit, overtime, and Poirier by TKO.
Wasn't last time he got McGregor like in a funny spot on his leg and his
he broke his
like the front of his shin was like a baseball.
He broke it. Yeah.
Rory?
I'm actually going against Luffy here.
Wow.
I'm backing Conor McGregor.
Wait, maybe y'all should fight. Y'all should just fight to give a preview.
I don't think we're in the same weight class, John.
So
What do you want to fight at, Rory? I can come up to about 200.
I don't know if I can get down there.
just cut some weight. Run in a trash bag around the neighborhood.
I think that McGregor, he kind of got embarrassed last time against Poirier, and he'll be ready for the leg kicks that Dustin's going to come after him with. He wasn't really ready. He didn't really block any leg kicks last time, and that kind of ruined him. So I think
he fights with that leg forward naturally. So it'll be interesting to see how he adjusts. I think it'll be a better fight, but I think Poirier ends up, just wearing him down with that weight.
So I'm taking Conor to win at +110, and I think Conor's got it. I'm sorry, I'm not backing the Lafayette boys. I have no allegiance to Lafayette. It's
our boy AJ Fletcher, dude.
Yeah,
it's messed
unreal.
We're gonna get AJ to come up to New Orleans and kick your ass.
Also, Tyson Fury blacked McGregor, and I respect Tyson Fury's fighting opinion. So I'm backing McGregor.
All right, I'm gonna bet on the same fight as y'all bet on, but I'm going to take the over 1.5 rounds, -215.
All right.
That's it.
In a parlay, add 2 open spots, and I will have a pick or 2 next week. We're going to ride the open spot parlay game. Ooh. We're going to add the over 1.5 rounds, -215, and make sure you click add 2 open spots to your parlay, and we're going to fill them in the coming weeks. Whenever I have a good feeling about a lock, we are going to fill the open spots. You weren't expecting me to say that, were you, Luffy?
No, I like that. I was fine with that.
And then parlay, I kind of like that too.
Well, I thought I was about to get roasted for saying -215
on the over.
Yeah, so I thought Luffy.
As John was trying to get me to take the Suns like -800.
Another fight. Who's fighting on this card? Greg Hardy. Fighting.
Yeah.
I'm taking.
Last time he cheated with like. The last time I saw him fight UFC, he didn't know the rules and just he immediately broke the rules and was disqualified in the first round.
Yeah, it kind of shows you the different level of athlete you need to be to play in the NFL versus UFC. Not like that one's better than the other. It's just completely different world.
Yeah, he had no fighting skills. Yeah. But hopefully he's massive and he's gotten better. So
I'm as a flyer. Like a little sweetener, a little sweet and low, maybe a little Splenda in your coffee. I'm backing Greg Hardy as well.
All right.
Throw a little sprinkle on it. I'll ride with that just for the heck of it. So thank you guys so much for listening to the House Always Wins segment and our show. We cannot do it without you guys. We're in the dog days of summer right now. The Out the Box podcast is gearing up for a fantastic comeback football season, but we got to get there. We got a bunch of power moves coming up. The Boot Crew Media Golf Tournament. We're going to be out there on August 13th. Make sure to sign up for that. Make sure to come out and see us at the House Bar in Tigerland when we announce that we're going to do a live show there. It's going to be epic. Shout out to all of our sponsors, the House Bar in Tigerland, Rally Cat Brewing, Workbox LLC, and Blaine Loop with Keller Williams Realty, and the Boot Crew Media Network. And with that, Luffy, what is your thoughts on what was the girl's name? The track athlete that got disqualified from competing in the Olympics?
Let her play. Let her play. She's an LSU girl.
Mm-hmm.
Sucks. Damn. I think actually her replacement is an LSU girl.
I think so. In the relay, it is.
In the relay, it definitely is, yes.
Well, the reason I wanted to end the show with that is that you were a lot more fired up the first time I heard you talk about it because it is absolute BS.
Yeah.
But either way, I think you have the right message. Let her play.
Yeah, let her play.
Let the kids play.